Chris Appleton files for divorce from Lukas Gage after 6 months of marriage. I said, well, Chris can be a woman's name, but in this case, I believe Chris is not a woman's name. Chris is a man's name. So you're saying a man has filed for divorce from another man after 6 months of marriage. And then here's the kicker. Kim Kardashian, one of Appleton's clients, officiated the ceremony and Shania Twain performed. So none of that happened. Something happened that involved these people, but none of the things that this news article says happened actually happened. Chris Appleton did not file for divorce from Lukas Gage because two men cannot divorce one another, because two men cannot marry one another, because marriage intrinsically involves sexual difference and the complementarity of the sexes. And Kim Kardashian did not officiate that wedding, one, because it was not a wedding, and two, because Kim Kardashian is not a priest. Because women can't be priests, and because Kim Kardashian, even if she were pretending to be a priest, in this case, wasn't even pretending to have some religious role. And marriage has always been both a religious and civil institution. But other than that, the story makes perfect sense, right? I say none of this with any antipathy whatsoever toward Chris Appleton or Lukas Gage, neither of whom I've ever heard of. I say this actually with no antipathy toward Kim Kardashian even. And I say this certainly with no antipathy toward guys who are a little bit light in the loafers. You know, I'm from New York. I lived in LA. I went to the gayest university in the United States. A disproportionate number of my friends have unusual and eccentric sexual desires and behaviors. I love them very dearly. I have no antipathy or hatred for anybody. But this just isn't real. None of this is real. It's all fake. The reason I mention the story is, one, because we're talking about the fake news, but two, because it shows you how far we have to go to restore even the basic elements of a stable, flourishing society. It is not possible to have a stable, flourishing society if your fundamental political institution is wacky, is ambiguous, is controversial. For all of human history, everywhere on planet Earth, the fundamental political unit is the family. And the fundamental component of the family is a marriage. And the fundamental aspect of the marriage is the complementarity of the sexes. This is the fundamental distinction in mankind. And if we deny that, things are not going to work out very well. You might say, well, I don't want men and women to be different. Well, okay, sorry. I'm sorry that you feel that way, but they are. Well, I don't want marriage to be a fundamental unit of society. Okay, well, man's a coupling creature and the political animal, and that's just the way it is. I'm sorry you feel that way. Maybe you'd prefer a throuple or a quadruple. Maybe you'd rather we all live in some deracinated, desexed, utopian vision that you might have where those things don't matter, but that's not the way it is. To quote the great baseball player Oscar Gamble, some people don't think it be like it is, but it do. But it do. And so I know that there are a lot of conservatives who think, well, if only we just, there are even some sensible liberals, especially sensible liberals, who will say, we just got to cut this woke stuff. We just got to, come on, man. You're... We are so far removed from a normal, stable, flourishing society that what would be required to get back to any semblance of good living is going to require far greater confidence and far greater clarity. Because clarity is charity, baby. That's what I think. Right now, go to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Knowles, Knowles. Living a healthy lifestyle, it's not easy, especially when you're always on the go. You need simple, manageable routines to make sure you're getting the proper nutrition every day, which is why I'm a huge fan of Balance of Nature. Balance of Nature fruits and veggies are a great way to make sure you're getting essential nutritional ingredients every single day. Balance of Nature uses an advanced cold vacuum process that encapsulates fruits and vegetables into whole food supplements without sacrificing their natural antioxidants. The capsules are completely void of additives, fillers, extracts, synthetics, pesticides, or added sugar. The only thing in Balance of Nature's fruit and veggie capsules are, well, fruits and veggies. There's never been an easier way to make sure you're getting your daily dose of fruits and vegetables. Go to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Knowles, KNWLAS, for 35% off your first order as a preferred customer. That's balanceofnature.com. Promo code Knowles, KNWLAS, for 35% off your first preferred order. Balanceofnature.com/Knowles. There's some new feminist Marvel movie out based on Captain Marvel, which I labored through for the Daily Wire some years ago whenever it came out. It's with some woman, Brie Larson is the actress in it, and it was really just dreadful. And then they made a sequel to it called The Marvels, which just came out, and it appears to be the lowest opening weekend in Marvel franchise history. It pulled in $47 million. So this is good for the culture because I don't like the Marvel movies generally. I really don't like feminist movies. Unless they're at least provocative or interesting or show me something from a new angle and it's not just Joe Scarborough tier, my enemies are fascists kind of stuff. But that rarely happens in any movie, especially feminist movies. So I don't like that. And then you combine the two. So you've got this really shallow, formulaic movie that just inserts a bunch of woke girl boss catchphrases into it. And it's just absolutely unbearable. So it's good that the people rejected that, but it's really bad because it means I'm going to have to watch this movie now because the sadist in the control room, Mr. Davies, is going to make me do it so that I can give a review. If this movie is a news story, if people, either because it's so popular or because it's so unpopular, I guess I'm going to have to watch this thing. Even though I know how bad it's going to be because I saw the first one. When this movie was announced, it was lauded for having 3 female leads. There's your first sign. It's just that South Park clip. Kathleen Kennedy, make it more lame. Add 4 female leads. And no one wants to see that because what people want to see when they go see a hero movie, whether it's an old Western with John Wayne or whether it's a new movie with Chris Pratt, they want to see a man do manly things, feats of strength, because men are physically stronger than women and men are more publicly oriented than women. Women tend to be more nurturing and oriented toward the private life. And so the men want to go see a man go out there and conquer the world, and they want to see a woman be saved because men want to save a damsel in distress because men actually don't hate women, they love women. And what do the women want to see? They want to see the same thing. That's the big secret. No women are looking up to no little girls are looking up to Brie Larson or any of these ridiculous women, these feminist women characters, because those feminist women characters are divorced from reality. And everything about them is divorced from reality. Their physical abilities, most obviously, women can't beat men in fights, pretty much ever under any circumstances. It just can't happen. We covered that story yesterday. 15-year-old high school boys soccer beats professional women's soccer, like every time. So that is the most obvious. But furthermore, the notion that women don't desire men, that's just false. That's not true. A woman needs a man like a fish needs a bicycle, like the feminists say. It's just not true. None of this stuff is true. And so it doesn't resonate for the men. It doesn't resonate for the women. It doesn't resonate for anybody according to the box office return. And I bet it's not going to resonate for me when freaking Ben Davies makes me watch it. Man, what a great clip that was. It was good, huh? Now make sure, hey, you got to ring that bell. Subscribe to the Michael Knowles podcast. We'll see you next time.